Here's how to build this insane creeper farm in Minecraft Bedrock 1.19. Don't be fooled, the amount of materials shown is 100% worth it for how much gunpowder this farm produces. So the first thing you want to do when building this farm is locate the perfect area for it, and that would be over a large body of water just like this. This is because if you build it on land, you're going to have to spawn proof the entire land around with torches. This just makes the farm a lot more efficient. So I have a nice big area here with water surrounding, no mobs around, and I'm going to build my farm right here. So you're going to want to start off by placing down 2 chests right here. This is going to be the front facing of the farm. You're going to want to come to the back and place 9 hoppers back here. So 2, 2, 2, and then 3 to one of the sides just like this. So it should be a 3x3 area with your hoppers like that. The next thing that you're going to want to do is come around to the side of the hopper here, place a block, and then build up 14. So it should be 15 blocks high total. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And you want to do that like a big U shape around the hoppers all the way. As well, and this part is optional, you can place 2 pillars right beside the chest here. This is only for looks, it doesn't actually add to the farm. So once you have the U shape looking like this, you're going to want to add glass on the front of the farm coming all the way up here. Now this doesn't have to be glass, and it also doesn't have to be lime glass like mine is, but I like to do that just so I can see inside of the farm like this. So start by placing blocks there and then building it all the way up. So once you finish placing down those blocks, what you want to do is come inside of the chamber here and place 9 campfires on top of the hoppers just like this. This is going to kill the creepers, and then once they die, their drops are going to go through the campfires and into this collection chest right there. So now that we're finished building the entire chamber area here, it's time to build the first layer of the farm. So start by building 1 layer of blocks on top of these ones right here, just around, still keeping that middle area open, and then go 7 blocks in every single direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and do that for all 4 sides. Now that we have 7 extended on all 4 sides, we want to connect the edges just like this. So go to one end, fill it all the way here, and then the other, do this. And then we want to do that for all 4 sides and then fill the entire area in with blocks. So now we're going to fully fill it in with blocks. And just like that, you can see we have that entire area built in just like this, with that 3x3 center in the middle. So the next step here is you're going to want to go out to one of the sides, build out 1 block and up 1 block, and then you're going to want to make a big rim around the entire edge of the farm just like this. And then once you have that entire rim here, you want to take stairs and place 1 stair on top of every single block just like this. And then your final step for this layer here is to take water and place it in every single one of these stairs. It might be helpful for you to make an infinite water source, or if you're near an ocean like this, it'll be a lot easier to fill in every single stair. So just going around like this, placing water in every single stair, this is what's actually going to push the creepers inside of this area here. And if you've done every single step correctly, you should see that all the water flows perfectly and leaves a 3x3 square in the middle. So anytime a creeper falls onto this, they'll be pushed down into here and on top of the campfires. And just like that, the first layer here is done. So it's now time to build the first layer that the creepers are actually going to spawn on. So you see over there, I have 6 layers there. We want to build the first one now. So you're going to go to any corner here, build up 3 blocks, break the bottom 2, and then move over 2 blocks just like that. So your first block here should be not on top of the stairs, but on top of this first block right there, just like that. You're then going to want to take this and go all the way around the edge here. So you can see I'm going to go all the way to the end. And then you can see that when I look straight down, I can still see the stair there. I don't actually see just water. So make sure that it stops right there and do that the whole way. Once you have that rim going all the way around, you want to go to the edge, skip 1 block, and then make a line there. So there should be a gap block in between here just like this. And then you want to do the same thing here, skip 1 block, and do the same thing here, and then do that the entire way down. So once you have that part done, it should look like this, with a row of air, then a row of blocks, and then air and blocks all the way down. So now you want to do the exact same step, but you want to do it this way. So now you should have it going this way, with a row of blocks right here, and then a row of air right there. So there should just be 1 singular block, and no blocks should be touching. So it should be just like that, and do that for the entire farm. So if you've done everything correctly so far, it should look like this, with a checkered pattern like this with no holes touching. So now comes the fun part, that being placing all of the buttons down. So what you want to do is go to any one of the 4 corners, place a button, skip a block, button, button, all the way down just like this. And then once you get to this end, skip a block, place a button, and you're going to do that all the way down for the entire farm. And make sure you don't miss any, because if you miss one, it messes up the whole line just like I've just done. So do that for the whole farm. And if you're wondering what this does, it's just one of the parts that makes it so only creepers can spawn in this farm, not anything like zombies or spiders or skeletons. So if you look now, you can see that there's one button in every single area just like that, with none of them touching and none of them touching a hole either. So the next step is to make it so that when a creeper does spawn here, he actually walks into this hole. Because how it works right now is they're just going to walk around the hole. So what we do is we need to place a button inside of the hole. It doesn't matter which side, just place a button inside. So now the creepers are going to think there's a block there and walk straight over that block and into this area here. So go ahead and place a button in every single hole of the farm. As well, this doesn't have to be buttons. It could also be trapdoors, but I just find buttons a lot cheaper and a lot easier to get in bulk like this. So I always use buttons for all my projects, any big thing just like this. So as you can see, we now have a button in every single hole, and that portion of the farm is done. Now you're almost done the first layer, just a couple more things to do. So the next step in building this farm is you want to come to one of the corners here, temporarily break that button, and then build up 3, breaking the bottom 2, and then replacing your button just like that. You then want to copy this same pattern that we've done down here, right on this layer up here. So I'm going to go all the way around and then copy that same checkerboard pattern that we did right here. So now that I have the entire platform copied up there as I do down here, standing here you can see that I have a 2-block gap just like this. I can still move around, but I can't jump at all. So now what I want to do is on every single area that there's not a button, you want to place a trapdoor. So I'm going to go down to every single area here that doesn't have a button on the ground and place a trapdoor above it, just like that. But don't just skip over to this next row here. Make sure that you also get this one, because when I was first building that farm, I forgot to, and then I had to go all the way back through. So now make sure you also get that block with a trapdoor and go all the way down here. And then once you've done that, you can continue back to this spot here. So any spot that there's not a button, you want to place a trapdoor and do that the whole way down. So once you finish placing the trapdoors, it should look a little bit just like this. Ignore the fact that I'm in a different farm. I'm just showing you in this one because it kind of got complicated over there. Anyways, so now for the next steps. If this is all that you want to have just one layer on your creeper farm, then you can go ahead and skip to the time on screen right now and follow those steps. Otherwise, you want to build more layers, because the more layers you have, the more efficient the farm is. So if you have 6 layers, the farm's going to be 6 times more efficient. So what you're going to want to do is just keep building the layers up, and I'm going to show you that right now. So as you can see here, I've built the farm up one more layer. All you have to do is follow the exact same steps. So I added buttons on the inside of here, and then I added buttons on the top. And now if I want to add another layer, I just follow the exact same steps again. So I go to the corner again, I go up 3, and then I build another layer just like that. So as you can see, I've built another layer. So now I have 3 layers. And like I said, it's the exact same steps. You have the trapdoors on the bottom, the buttons on the top, the buttons all the way up here, and then the buttons here as well. You can do as many layers high as you want. For this example, I'm just going to do 6, but you can do as many as you want. So I'm going to keep going up, and I'll see you then. And just like that, I have all 6 layers of my farm built up right here. Again, I could do more, I could do less, but for me, I decided 6 was a really good amount to get how much gunpowder I showed you in the thumbnail. So next, it's time to build the roof so that this farm works in daytime and nighttime. If we have it right now, it only works at night, but if we add the roof, it'll work at day. So what I'm going to want to do is come up to here and do the same thing, build up 3 blocks like that, keeping it the same, but this time I want to build a fully flat layer here. So no holes, just a fully flat 20 by 20 area here. Alright, so now I have my fully flat roof just like this on top of my final layer here. And now I want to add more trapdoors. So the same that I did it down here, where there's a gap in every button, I want to add my more trapdoors just like this, all the way for this top layer as well. And that'll complete my final layer. So as you can see now, I have the trapdoors placed on the roof here, this fully flat 20 by 20 area on the top here. And now it's time to do the final building part to finish off this roof. So what you want to do is come to every one of these corners and build out 12 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then you also want to come to this corner here, build out 12 blocks, 9, 12, and then come to this corner here and build out 12 and do that for all of the corners there. So now it should look something like this, and we want to connect every single end to the other end, just like this, making a little area, just like that, and then we want to repeat that for every single area there. So as you can see, I have the entire area plotted out now, and now I just want to fill it all in with blocks. This is one of the last steps, so hang in there. And finally, just like that, missed a couple blocks here, but we have that entire big platform just like that, fully filled. And the very final step to this entire farm is to take some torches and light up this top so no mobs can spawn up here at nighttime. I'm just going to spam a bunch here, although if you're in survival mode, you might want to place them more strategically, not just spamming them down like I am in creative right now. But yeah, so that is the entire farm built. Again, the more layers that you have, the more efficient the farm's going to be. So I would suggest you build more layers, and it also doesn't have to be this wide. It could be even wider if you want. It's a bit too late to tell you that now since you've probably already built it, but yeah, so you can see creepers are already starting to spawn. The final step is to build the AFK platform. So there's a couple different people that tell you to do different things. Some tell you to build out 20 blocks from here and make an AFK. Some tell you to go blocks up. I like to sit just down here and the farm works perfectly fine, but for this case, I'm just going to just build it in the middle here. So I'm going to build out 20 blocks this way. I don't even know. The exact distance doesn't really matter. Build a random distance to there. And then for your final block, make sure that it's a leaf or glass or something like that so mobs can't spawn on it. And then you just want to break your bridge so mobs can't spawn on any of this. And this is going to be your AFK platform. You can add some ladders coming up to here or scaffolding, however you want. But you just sit here or sit down there. Honestly, it doesn't change the rates very much no matter where you sit. But yeah, so that is this whole farm done. So now it's time to get into the AFK test. So I'm going to sit here for 15 minutes, and when I come back, I'll let you guys know how much gunpowder this farm has collected. So let's get into it. So as I'm editing this video, I realized I forgot to mention that if you're in hard mode, mobs spawn 50% faster. So essentially the farm will be 50% more efficient. So if you want the farm to be, like I said, 50% more efficient, get 50% more drops, make sure you go into your settings and you're on hard mode for this farm to be the best that it can. Okay, so kind of weird. If you notice in that time lapse there, the creepers weren't spawning very much. So I actually just restarted my game and the creepers are spawning a lot more now. So if the creepers, yeah, see them, like they're coming in hordes now. So if they weren't spawning as fast, restart your game just like I did and they should be spawning a lot faster. So this test's going to be a bit longer than 15 minutes, but it's fine because for the first bit, it just wasn't working very well. So yeah, let's get back into it. All right, so that has been a little over 15 minutes now. I'm just going to let this last creeper fall here and we're going to see how much stuff we got. Yeah, so creepers are constantly coming down. And if I expanded this more high or wide, you'd get even more. So really good farm, super efficient. And yeah, so I'm going to see how much gunpowder we got in just over 15 minutes. You can see how it works here. Creepers fall down, burn, their drops go into there. And a stack. Okay, so I'm gonna round 15 minutes to a stack, which means 4 stacks per hour. So that's 256 gunpowder every single hour that you AFK at this farm. So if you sit here overnight, that's 8 hours. That's what? 40 stacks of gunpowder. That's a full double chest for just sitting overnight. Like, that's so much gunpowder. Honestly, more than you should need for, I'm assuming you're gonna be using this for Elytra or a bunch of TNT or something. Plenty of gunpowder. Sit here for one night and you'll be good. And just like that, this insane gunpowder farm is done. Over 4 stacks of gunpowder every single hour. That's 256 gunpowder. Oh, hello. That's more than you should need for a lot of beginner game. And if you want to go more end game, you can simply expand this up, expand this wide, make 9 of these, whatever you want. So with that, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, let me know down below. Make sure you leave a like and sub. I'm posting every Thursday and Sunday at 10 a.m. and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.